There is emerging on the face of the earth a new human, an infinite human, and that infinite human is you. Join Elizabeth Monroy weekly for enlightening discussions, multidimensional journeys, profound meditations, and empowering visualizations as we co-create the new consciousness renaissance together with other blossoming infinite human beings who are shifting the old paradigms of our broken, fragmented, finite 3D Earth and alchemizing it into a more expansive, unified, loving, infinite reality by reclaiming their true divine infinite power within as the co-creators of the new infinite Earth. Join us weekly for the Infinite Human Talk Show, hosted by Elizabeth Monroy, every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Infinite human being, the world that is, ever has been, and never shall be. And I'm just going over the day, this magical, mysterious, amazing day in my mind, because so many amazing things happened with Jenny. Thank you, Jenny, for coming along. She heeded the call intuitively, and we came here and I guess we were kind of like alchemizing seamstress, because we connected the past to the future on the organic timelines of the crystal of sparkle in the spiral at this beautiful ancient Tartarian structure that has been hidden in plain sight. I used to come here when I was a child. I never understood what I was looking at, but now I certainly do, thanks to E.M. Parks. I understand that this was not built in 365 days by a wealthy American man, as all the history depicts. And it also shows time. Everywhere we are, there's clocks and times, and they keep kind of programming your mind with 55, 1910, to keep us in that AI time loop of their fabricated time. So I feel like this is very timely, because as you will see in this video, I'm going to take you through this amazing place, and I'm going to show you how, because the frequency fence, or what many people know as the matrix, which is a low frequency fence that has fenced in our consciousness and our planet and kept us quarantined from infinite divine technology, which it abounds throughout the multiverse. I'm going to show you that it's bleeding through now. It's coming through, and our consciousness is now able to recognize this, and we're not being scammed. And it's also just coming out now. Over here, if you look at this is a typical mudslide building that we haven't really been able to see, but if you notice, the windows are underground, and they keep getting smaller and smaller and diminishing, okay? And I will take you on a stroll to a part that has been exposed finally and shown to the world, where you can see the true underlinings of these structures. And there's a massive dome that I did a video in earlier that's what was one of the largest domed structures on the planet for a while. So the reason this is so timely is because of the frequencies, and anyone that's been following or feeling it knows that the solar flares are sending these crystic codes to us. The Schumann residency is bringing up the energy of the Nomi seed. We are shifting frequencies, and frequencies are, we call them timelines, shifting timelines, but what we're really doing is our flash sequence, because there is no time. So we're experiencing flash sequences that are speeding up, so that we are actually entering or returning to our proper place in the multiverse and our proper dimension from which we were pulled out of by artificial technology. So why is this so timely? Because what's happening now in the external world, in the 3D world, is that they're doing their best to herd everyone into this artificial technology, this crypt of dead zeros, ones, cryptocurrency, always being fixated on your phone. Okay, obviously you're on your phone probably now, but while you're missing what's really happening, because every time you bind your algorithms into that AI world, your brain, it keeps the pathways going in this Mobius strip, which keeps you trapped in time, artificial time. And the organic timelines are here now. The Kristalla spiral, realigning with infinite source, is here now, which is one of the works we've done in these places, so these places can come back online. But this place, for example, didn't only generate, it's huge, right? Do you think everyone just walked around with candles? They had free electricity. And they've dismantled, and I saw in the museum, I'll show you all this, where they dismantled the copper spirals that would pull the electricity down like the real Tesla did. But at that time, this place was all lit up and it was a powerhouse. The limestone that's underneath this would hold it like photovoltaic batteries, and they could power everything. And the technology that they had back then far exceeds. That was divine technology. It worked in harmony with our Mother Earth, with the ley lines, with the energetic template of the Earth. It raised your frequency and maintained Earth in balance with God Source, infinite God Source. It maintained our eternal bodies that did not age or decay or die. And it didn't destroy our bodies. It wasn't something we had to be careful with, cause brain tumors or all these things that are. And right here behind me, these gazebo structures. And Eon Parks told me at first, I was like, what? But they were teleportation stations. So you could go here. I came here from the Yucatan. I took 2 cars, 2 planes. It took me all day. You could be instantaneously in other pivotal points along ley lines that had the same receptive energetic connections, dragon nodes we call them, where ley lines intercept. And then a lot of people, I believe, this is my philosophy, I believe they didn't want to rip open Mother Earth because they respected her with all kinds of roads and things like that. I think they used animals because they wanted to, and for short distances. But anyway, that's me. But I'm telling you this because they're trying to distract you with the bad copy. They're trying to say, yeah, this is it right here. The magic act of getting you to put all your energy, all your quantum into this false timeline, which will lead, as the Hopi prophecy talked about, the 2 timelines of the one-hearted and the 2-hearted people. And the 2-hearted people follow the wrong timeline because they want to worship technology rather than respect nature. Look at that, isn't that amazing up there? So, come on in. I'm going to take you inside now. Ciao for now. Kiki, come on. We got to go inside. There's Kiki. Okay, hi guys. Me and my assistant, who we'll meet later, and of course Kiki, who's always with me, are going to be working in this amazing Tartarian structure with multiple domes all around, placed on a lot of ley lines. All right, Tartarian technology is divine technology. It's free. It works with our Mother Earth in harmony. They use domes as resonating chambers. They use the ley lines of the Earth. They use the natural electricity that the real Tesla found. All right, what you're being offered now is a scam. It's a bad copy. It's a distorted electrical impulses that are controlled by fallen angelics who are using it to keep you enslaved in a technological tyranny of face identifications, of merit systems, of digital cryptocurrency. It's a dead, non-living artificial technology which has been used for eons by fallen angelics, off-planet entities, yes, the bad people, not just the reptilians. We're talking about also Jehovian, Tothian collectives who are now running the planet and the whole time matrix. And they're trying to pull you into phantom, into the Fibonacci spiral of death. Okay, that's a lot of terms right now, but basically it's artificial. It is not beneficial to organic life forms. This Tartarian ancient technology that they hid from us in plain sight. These people took credit for all these amazing structures. They didn't build them, they found them, and they used them and polluted the ley lines for their own world control and economic manipulation. And you'll see a lot of the elites have come to this amazing place. It's amazing. And I came here as a child. I never knew what I was looking at until my frequency raised and the net has started to be dissolved, and now I'm seeing what it is. And this is a little look at it behind me. It is amazing. And these places are going to be coming back online as part of my job and people that work with me. And it's going to be amazing because we'll have technology like you never saw before that will raise your frequency, heal you, and it works with Mother Earth and all organic life. I am walking through the main lobby here at the, isn't it amazing, French Lick? And this just looks like Europe to me. I feel very at home here. And it's really just old world Tartarian architecture that's been, maintained and restored with lots and lots of money. So, and we have the gods and goddesses up here. Now, I have a philosophy about the gods and goddesses. Yes, they've all been hijacked, of course, but I think the original ones were simply, guardian races that were incarnate. Many of them were us, and we had certain positions, and we worked with the elements. So that's why the god of this, the god of that, in their true form during the golden ages. But when they were hijacked, they began to sacrifice to them, and they began to disconnect and use their energy. Look at this fireplace, isn't that amazing? And everywhere is clocks. Clocks, 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 clocks. Why? Because that's how they capture time. And the clocks are all on different timelines. And those are the fragmented artificial timelines that we have our altars on, alter identities, which we call past lives. Did you hear that? I said, we have our alter identities on these fragmented artificial timelines. And part of ascension is to bring them all together, to heal them, and to become whole again, or wholly. Now, I want to say one other thing, because when I first heard this, it kind of freaked me out, and I thought, no. But someone was saying that a lot of times ghosts, and I just want to say, yes, there are ghosts. Ghosts, what are ghosts? Ghosts are fragmented parts of people, us, that don't know they're dead many times, and they're very upset and angry. They have some emotional baggage that is holding them to a particular place and the lower frequencies, and they haunt, or they create disturbances because their emotions. And I think if you saw the movie Ghost, the guy who was addicted to smoking was a good example of that. But a lot of these things we see out of the flashes of our eye, or we sense them around us, it's just a time convergence of us, maybe us, and think of Time Cop, but us and all the people that move through this area in the different moments of time. Like right now, almost like the movie Somewhere in Time, I can see all the people back in the turn of the century walking around here, moving around here, waiting for dinner, having a smoke, having tea, having a dinner, talking to one another. Interesting. Now here, looking over all of this, there's the front desk, are the patron saints, I'll almost call them. Look at the patron saint here. Pluto. What does he remind you of? All right, and there's two of them. There's another one, like bookends right here. And then here are the people that have taken credit for buying and building these incredible ancient structures. Wealthy elites. Kiki's been a huge hit here. Everyone loves her, and she loves everybody, so that's been nice. And let's see where we're going now. We're going to go to the casino and have something to eat. But I want to see what's along the way, but I did find out a little tidbit. There was a plant, and someone said all billionaires aren't bad, and of course they're not. I never thought that. There's a lot of people that incarnate very high souls that become very wealthy, and they use their money for the good. And it was a Cook family. He was a doctor, and he invented instruments that I know Peter, my husband, used as an obstetrician gynecologist, because they made a lot of money because the laser came out and it was non-invasive. So they created all these instruments for doctors to move to this higher form of surgery that was minimally invasive. And the receptionist told me that her life was saved by it because when she was hemorrhaging, they used one of them. So he bought this and the other one and restored it. And he was the one that opened that tunnel, exposing the ancient limestone bricks. Full circle, isn't that funny? And to hear a good doctor, there were actually really good doctors. Thank God. And I know because Peter was one of them. So now we're walking through the ancient corridors to the casino. The place is huge. I'm walking past all these gift shops and displays, and oh, look what's there, the sign of French Lick. The devil. I want to say some of the forces that were around both Jenny and I as we came here. She said the night before, last night, before we did this, there was a rock band that played a big concert in the Dome, and the name of the band is Poison. I don't know anything about hard rock, but Poison. So they were still trying their best to pollute the lines so that I couldn't do my work and reconnect the organic lines. But my job was easy because we had all this plasma energy streaming me in. All I had to do was show up, position myself correctly, and bring in that. So here's the truth hidden in plain sight. It's called Pluto's Alley. Now, Pluto, god of the underworld, controls the water flow just like Saturnia in Europe. Look at this ancient limestone foundation. And this was supposedly made in the 19th century by some kind of mason. Look at this. This is so Tartarian. This is the foundation of this resort, French Lick Resort. As I touch these ancient stones, I've done the same all over the world, in Malta and Sicily and Greece, everywhere. And I feel what I feel first when I touch the stones in other parts, just the goddess energy of women dancing in white robes with flowers in their hair and toning like I did today, and turning and dancing and doing, movements, kind of like intuitive, I think they call it ecstatic dancing now, movements in harmony, in unison, and singing and toning. And it was beautiful, beautiful high frequency feeling. And the stones were just caressed and loved because we knew we were laying, energizing our frequency, infusing it with that love, and we were getting it back. It was this beautiful reciprocal kind of dance between the earth, her stones, her crystalline packed stones, and our bodies, our physical bodies, which maintained us in perpetual youth and free of dis-ease, ease with infinite spirit flowing through us. And that's what we did as we danced and sang and toned and moved together. And then when it was stolen from us, as all the temples were, this was like, well, it was used for child sacrifice a lot and trafficking from this end to that end of bringing children in and then running water, but very polluted water underneath this to pollute and distort and disconnect the energy, lower the frequency of it, and the ley lines, pollute the ley lines. But we're coming back to that. That's what I did today. And I had the help of Kiki and Jenny, and it was amazing. We made up a trinity, and I can just feel the proper timelines have been set, and they're corrected, and they're just spinning out. Ancient, ancient. You look like a schoolgirl with your books.
I feel like a schoolgirl here.
So, Jenny, tell us about all the things that have happened to you coming here and what's going on, what you're
I feel
feeling.
like my eyes are opening up to see here things I would not have noticed before. I always notice everything, I feel like, until today. I'm noticing even more, like a magnifying glass here at this place. A lot older than what
Intense energies, huh?
Yes, definitely walking in and out of doorways all around this property here. Beautiful, and I can definitely feel and see the symbolism all around me.
Supposedly the largest covered dome in the world. Hello, my divine infinite human beings, your all that is, ever has been, and ever shall be. And here I am in Ancient Tartaria, which is amazing because I used to come here as a child for years and years, and I never realized that Ancient Tartaria was on my own back doorstep. And you know, I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, and this is just an hour and a half from Louisville, and it is called it's French Lick, but this is the largest dome in the world. This makes the rotundos in Malta that are ancient look like nothing. The reason is because it's been restored, and I have a feeling that this used to be a crystalline dome in ancient times. I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands, millions of years ago. And it's been, of course, perfectly reconstructed to make you think it's modern too. And it's a hotel. But it is ancient Tartarian, and the energy is amazing. When you go here and stand in the center, I ran some Crystalla spirals, and it is just incredible, this energy. I can feel the energy, and it is very high energy because these are on ley lines and they're resonating chambers and they hold the energy. So it's amazing. Look at this place. But it was used. So just think for a minute. I live in Europe, but the United States, which is so bland and boring, and all the buildings look like cardboards, and the stores are like storage areas, and the roads cut through with semi trucks. this used to be like this. It used to be like Europe, because it was all Tartaria. It was all Tartarian architecture, resonating chambers that raised the frequencies that were built on ley lines. And the elites either destroyed it all, like they did with the World's Fair, and the people who are accredited with creating this did supposedly the Chicago World Fair. Right. They just created it and then they took it down. So isn't that interesting? And this has signs of Pluto, with horns all over it. And the waters that are healing waters were used and sold. Reminds me of someone I know that's doing that now. But they've also been polluted, a lot of the waters. The Pluto has been polluted. And what is Pluto? The god of the underworld. So they used the energies for their own power to maintain control over the Earth's ley lines, and to the U.S., and to control economics, to control politics, to control everything. So that's what they were doing here. And then they also desecrated the ley lines with sacrifices and all kinds of other things. So isn't this incredible? Here's more proof. Right here it says art mystery. In a help solve a century-old art mystery in this hotel. Much like the TV show History Detectives, the hotel would love to collect clues about the murals painted in the hidden room above the atrium dome in the small, inaccessible to the public, okay? Inaccessible to the public. And there they have ancient murals, just like what we have in Italy, okay? Ancient murals from ancient Tartaria, but they can't open them to the public because they will show that the U.S. had an ancient culture like Tartaria in it, and they can't explain that yet. Hello, my divine infinite human beings, family. I'm back in the dome, and I tell you, the energy is just, I wish you could just feel it pouring through the screen. It is so powerful. And I have to admit, I am really kind of frazzled from our work yesterday. It was so intense, and being in this energy, it is just really, really amazing. In fact, I would say this is even more powerful than just being out in the jungle and nature, because it's amplifying all the frequencies, and it's definitely connected to the true timeline. And for me personally, after we did our work yesterday and set our intentions onto the new timeline, I have to admit, I had a really dark night of the soul this morning when I thought my jewelry, and you know me, I love my jewelry. I collect very special pieces around the world. I thought it had been stolen. And when I understood, I got the aha of what I needed to shift in my life so that I wasn't feeling robbed, victimized, that kind of energy that had carried I say lifetime to lifetime, but still exists in some of my alternate identities. I felt like I just kind of like feeling all that pain and that martyrdom and that feeling of having done so much for humanity, and feeling like, screw you, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to be of service anymore. I'm being very honest right now. But as I really let that out, and because I was doing it maybe for the wrong reasons, pleasing the wrong people. And when I was able to purge those lower frequencies, And then I found all my jewelry. It hadn't been stolen. It was just my mind was going there. And what it really is if you think about it, you're actually alchemizing and integrating these other lifetimes where you have, say, been stoned to death or hung or burnt at the stake or, ridiculed or shunned by your religious community. All these things, that have happened. So many lifetimes we have had here. So many alternate identities are running around here, and especially when you go to these historical areas. So I felt like I cleaned that out, and then I'm coming here. It's when you clear out the lower frequencies, you allow yourself to infuse so much more of this beautiful plasma energy of the higher dimensions. And here we are. This is in the higher dimension. This place is in the higher dimension. When you come here, people just kind of just absorb it. And then over there we have some time travelers. I took a picture of them. I don't know if you can see them. They're dressed in 18th century. They told me they wrote a book. Maybe they did. Maybe they just zapped in here from Tartaria. I don't know, but I got some pictures I'll add to this video. Who knows? Anything is possible in these kinds of frequencies. So, ciao for now.